Under attack, shootouts, hostages, and an explosion that shook a stadium. Tonight, the country's borders are closed as the reality and enormity of the situation sets in.
It's getting worse, and it's very scary.
More than 153 people were reportedly killed and many more were wounded in a series of what appeared to be coordinated attacks across Paris late Friday. Reports say others died in a reported suicide blast near the Stade de France and gun attacks on city center restaurants. Paris residents have been asked to stay indoors and about 1,500 military personnel are being deployed across the city.
Police say the deadliest attack was at a concert hall. It started outside the venue as the gunman targeted nearby cafes with machine gun fire. They then made their way inside the packed venue, and just outside the city, explosions could be heard near the National Soccer Stadium. During a soccer match between France and Germany, the sound of an explosion echoed outside the Stade de France. Yet in video from inside, it appears players and fans were unaware of the terror happening around them. Once the news spread, people scrambled over stadium seats and made their way onto the field. Outside the stadium, the frenzied crowd began to run in a chaotic mob. The French president, François Hollande, who was at the game, was evacuated to safety.
Sera proclamé sur l'ensemble du territoire.
He quickly declared a state of emergency. Around the same time, in the city center on a packed Friday night, ambulances raced to a restaurant where a shooting was reported that left several dead. French police secured the scene while emergency crews brought out the wounded. Broken glass could be seen where windows were shattered by gunfire. An American woman in Paris on business heard the gunshots.
Everybody get inside, they're gunshots, let's go. And you know, it was pretty scary in the restaurant. There was a family with small children, and you know, we all went into the basement. We didn't really know what to do.
Others witnessed the carnage.
When I went on the streets, I've seen 20 to 25 bodies lying on the floor, and people were very badly injured, gunshot wounds. And I took a small girl, a teenager. She was bleeding very badly, and I ran with her.
At a nearby concert hall, the Bataclan, a hostage situation unfolded. An American band, the Eagles of Death Metal, was performing when the attackers carried out their plan. Heavily armed French police stormed the theater. Two of the attackers blew themselves up with suicide belts as police closed in. Those who survived were later seen leaving with their hands up while the injured were carried out. The French president arrived to learn that as many as 100 were dead inside. President Obama, scheduled to visit Paris at the end of the month for climate change talks, spoke this evening.
Once again, we've seen an outrageous attempt to terrorize innocent civilians. This is an attack not just on Paris, it's an attack not just on the people of France, but this is an attack on all of humanity and the universal values that we share.
Right now in Paris, it is about 5 a.m. on Saturday morning, and as the sun starts to rise, we'll learn more about how these attacks were carried out and exactly how many innocent people were killed. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Valerie Castro, CBS 2 News.
All right, Valerie, thank you.
We start with breaking news, a night of terror in the City of Light. At least 6 attacks across Paris.
The death toll since we last saw you at 6 is now into the triple digits.
It has been a horrific night in the French capital, and at this hour, more than 150 people are dead in those attacks.
France is in a state of emergency as authorities try to piece together this night of terror. And just in, police believe all of the attackers are dead. Most of the people killed, nearly 100, appeared to be in a concert hall where an American heavy metal band was performing.
It follows a hostage situation, scores of people held against their will by gunmen. That all ended when security forces stormed the venue, killing at least 2 of the attackers.
Bullets flew into a number of restaurants, too. This video shows shattered windows at one of the businesses hit by the shooters. It's believed dozens more were killed in addition to the deaths at the concert hall.
That is a bomb going off, 2 actually, outside a soccer match at a stadium near the attacks. It happened as France played Germany. The blasts were heard about 4 minutes apart. Authorities cleared the stadium out right away, and it's believed 3 people were killed in those explosions.
Then French President Francois Hollande closed the country's borders. It's believed the attacks are the largest since World War II. Hollande told the nation that France would stand firm against the attackers, and minutes before that, President Obama offered support.
France is our oldest ally. The French people have stood shoulder to shoulder with the United States time and again. And we want to be very clear that we stand together with them in the fight against terrorism and extremism.
Another show of support tonight in New York City. One World Trade Center, built near where the Twin Towers fell 14 years ago, is lit up in red, white, and blue, the colors of the flag of France.
Attacks were an ocean away, but connections like that make it feel like it happened here at home.
All of us in the newsroom, we were glued to the TVs tonight. We're also on our smartphones, praying for the best, fearing the worst. Homa Bash talked to people downtown tonight as those terrifying moments were still unfolding.
Yeah, those very first reports were just coming in, and like we've been telling you all night, these attacks at a restaurant, at a concert, these targeted people just out and about on a Friday night, and for many, that is very hard to digest.
Fear, worry. Hopefully our people have it together.
We're a world away, but the magnitude of tonight's attacks in France, that hits home for many. Aaron Speakman came up to spend the weekend in Cleveland from Paris, Ohio, shaken like so many by the images pouring out of Paris, France.
You always think it's not going to happen here.
I don't know if you can say that anymore.
Denise Marco's son is a junior at Strongsville High, a class trip to France already planned for next summer. Now coming with another set of stresses.
You're nervous enough, and to hear something like this, I just want to do a little research and find out about it.
Friends and families overseas scrambling to make sure their loved ones are safe in the middle of chaos. Facebook even enabled its safety check feature in the wake of the attacks. It tells you if any of your friends are in the area and if they're okay. But that feeling of safety, that's jeopardized anytime any tragedy like this happens.
Be mindful, be vigilant. Need a little more love in the world.
Now, I just checked with Cleveland police to see if they intend to increase patrols like some other major cities have. They tell me they don't have plans to do that just yet. Reporting live in Cleveland, Homa Bash, News Channel 5.